Turkey is an amazing country if you want to visit a place rich of history, stunning landscapes, delicious food, warm hospitality, and the unique experience of riding a hot air balloon while another 160 plus balloons launch to the sky. That's exactly what I did in September, visiting Istanbul, Cappadocia, and Fethiye. The country was much more safer, walkable, and beautiful than I expected.
Hello, America.
I personally loved how easy transportation was, putting US transportation to a shame, taking the tram, ferry, subway, and the bus. I also ended the trip by staying in a valley only approachable by boat and running off a mountain to paraglide over the blue lagoons and then land onto the beach. There is so much to see, eat, drink, walk through, explore, and hike around Turkey. I tried to pack as minimal as possible on this trip. There is something just so cool of having your essentials on your back and being able to travel efficiently and fast. I like to toss in an Apple AirTag just for that slight of peace of mind that my bag made it to the destination. I munched on my beloved Chipotle on the way to the airport to prepare for the 15-hour flight. On this trip, I flew out of LAX and took Saudi Airlines for the very first time. They had the best price, especially booking the trip 5 days prior to departure date. I took advantage of golden hour and got some journaling in on my fresh new journal. Journaling for the past year has allowed me to keep track of what I'm actually doing and also keep track of my progress. The idea is that we sleepwalk throughout the day and don't even realize what we've done or even who we are. It's been awesome to just randomly flip back on a random day and see my emotions in detail that no picture or video could portray. By taking Saudi Airlines, I was already feeling the thrill of travel even though I was still at the airport. This was my first time seeing a prayer room in a plane and saw multiple Muslims praying during the journey. I truly don't understand how one cannot have the curiosity to travel and see what else is out there besides the bubble that we know. Traveling allows you to be so open-minded and appreciate life so much more. The airline gave away these cool looking eye masks.
Alright guys, just made it to Saudi Arabia for my layover. It's currently 10:34 and I don't leave till 6:20. So I'm gonna have like an 8-hour layover. It's the longest layover I've ever had, but gonna make the best out of it. That's the price you pay for a cheap ticket. But I don't care, as long as I get to the destination, it's all good.
Finally, 5 a.m. came and I was awakened by the Adhan, which is the call to prayer that happens 5 times a day. We finally boarded, and after a 4 hours flight, I got my first glimpse of Turkey outside my window. I got in line for my arrival and visa, which came out to be $30 US. Before leaving the airport, I just exchanged some cash to last me until I get to the city center. I took the public airport bus towards Taksim, which came out to be $5, which isn't really bad for the 45-minute ride. I was really surprised by how clean the buses were.
Alright, I am gonna walk 1.3 miles to my sister's Airbnb. 27-minute walk, so not too bad. Honestly, I didn't know where the bus was gonna drop me off. I was just comparing my location to my sister's Airbnb, and he kept getting closer and closer. So this is the last stop, Taksim. I'm gonna keep walking that way, and in 25 minutes I should be in her front door.
At this point, I found out that I was totally going the wrong way. I relied too much on Find My Friends and thought my sister was at her Airbnb, but she was actually at her nail appointment. So now, what was supposed to be a 25-minute walk became an hour and a half. It was still awesome getting lost, as I quickly learned that Istanbul hills are no joke.
Yep, that's where it's telling me to go. I guess we're going on a hike. 3 miles later. This place looks nice.
I finally made it to my sister's Airbnb, ate, and immediately knocked out as I was jet lagged. At this point, I woke up at 4 a.m. and ate the leftovers. Officially day 1 of Istanbul. My sister and I got up to explore the Europe side of Istanbul. Transportation around Istanbul is really easy. You pay using these refillable cards. The public transport in Istanbul is really what intrigued me of the city. Our first stop for the day was the Hagia Sophia Mosque. This mosque was so rich of history. It was built in the 6th century and was originally a Greek Orthodox Christian church. However, 1453, the Ottoman Empire conquered Constantinople, which is now modern-day Istanbul, and converted the church into a mosque.
Sa more mosque naman, this is the old, actually modern, not what babae architect na nag-design mo. This is lady like.
For breakfast, we just stopped nearby and I got this dish called menemen. It's made of eggs, tomatoes, green peppers, and spices. We just walked towards the next mosque throughout this really nice park. While exploring the mosque, my sister had accidentally left her phone somewhere on the side. Next thing we knew, it wasn't in her pockets anymore. Luckily enough, somebody had turned both of the iPhones into the front desk, and this is so nice. I feel like if this happened here in LA or California, it would be gone forever.
Here. So just put the card.
İşleminiz yapılıyor. Lütfen sadece kağıt para girişi yapınız. Kartınızı alandan çekmeyin.
Go. Good. Thank you. Hello. Hi.
This is one of my sister's friend who is a local working inside the Grand Bazaar market. So he walked us around and helped us not get ripped off too much. So we just did some shopping, and after a while we got pretty hungry, so we decided to check out Salt Bay's restaurant. And it was pretty crazy because I thought that he wouldn't be there. Why would he be there out of all his locations? And then my sister was like, "Oh, I think I just saw him, like look on top." So I turn around and I'm like, "Oh no, it can't be him, like that's a dupe." And then all of a sudden he comes in walking into the restaurant and he starts cutting up the steak for the people behind us. I'm like, dude, what is happening? It kind of felt like a fever dream, not gonna lie.
Surprisingly, it was actually pretty affordable and it tasted pretty good actually. I would never be able to afford this if it was here in America. So that's the beautiful part about traveling. When your currency is stronger, you get to do all these bougie things that you don't get to do back at home. And then on the way back home, the train was super packed. I saw this barber shop and I was like, alright, screw it. It's part of the experience. I feel like I've always had this thing where when I went to Bali or went to Thailand, I always got this haircut. And it's just part of the experience, you know, having some random guy for maybe $7, I believe, cut your hair, and it's a surprise. Next day, so this is the best part about waking up, going over the balcony and just checking the peace out before the hustle and bustle starts. Just got some quick breakfast. And the best part about this experience was we walked everywhere and took the transport. It was just so different from life here in America where you just go directly into your private vehicle. And that's one thing I wish we had here more, a walkable city.
Sweet tea, would you like? Lady? It's the same.
One thing I'll tell you is that they're really good at persuading you at buying things. So not only you have trams, but you also have ferries to use and get across the city. So after the ferry, we got onto this bus which dropped us off to this other mosque, which was the most beautiful mosque ever, and it had a museum inside the mosque in the first story, and then the second story was the mosque itself. But first we just walked around inside the museum. I was wearing shorts, so I had to borrow these pants so that I could cover my legs and be able to enter the mosque. Aladdin.
Lupot pa.
I was super intrigued by the quality of the carpets that they had in the mosque. Super soft and super high quality, durable. Highly recommend using this map called City Mapper, which helps you get around through the city. It'll tell you exactly how to get from point A to point B, where to walk, which bus, which ferry.
Istanbul for sure did not have a shortage of cats. Everywhere you looked, there would be a cat there laying down. And they were actually pretty well groomed, not like dirty cats, so that was the cute part. They're very kind here. Free water. And they're hemming my pants for free, which is crazy. Side do up, Mom? Yeah. Yep, that's an authentic fake Balenciaga shirt. You'd never find me paying MSRP for the real one for a logo and couple letters. But we got the craving satisfied, got boba, and they actually came in small sizes, unlike here. And then we took the ferry back to our Airbnb and probably caught one of the most beautiful sunset ever. And that's crazy. People that live there, this is their daily commute back home, which is peaceful. Without a doubt, this was my most favorite photo I ever took throughout the whole trip. My sister and I took a different route on the way home by taking the tram and then taking the subway. Once again, Turkey putting our California transportation to a shame. Look at how clean the subway is. Alright guys, Americans cannot live here. Look at this. It's like this like every street, so I am on my way to the gym right now. I'm trying to find it. I don't know, I think it's one of those buildings. Google Maps says it's in the 4th story, so I might have to go into like a little shop one day. 100 there, okay. Got out of the gym. It was up there, 4th story. Pro tip, use Google Lens to translate the menu or anything that you can't read because you don't know the language. So here I was able to order my food by translating it into English. Right across the street was my favorite coffee shop or cafe, like a real cafe, and like the stuff we have here. The environment was awesome. So I was actually still in school at this time and had some online work to do. So I pretty much just chilled there throughout the whole day and acted like a local, got some work done. Of course, on the way home, had to fuel up by getting some kebab. I swear I had kebab every day until I got sick of it. On the next day, I had a semi-late start, but as usual, made my way to the tram station, had my casual walk through these steep steps. Today's adventure is taking a ferry to one of the 9 Prince Islands. The island I'll be going to is the Buyukada Island, which is the biggest island out of the 9. One of my favorite parts about Turkey is that there's history in every corner. Everything you see, there's always something substantial behind it and a reason. While on the way to the island, I met this guy who lives in Turkey, but he was actually on vacation to visit this island. And funny enough, he was actually a nurse. At this time, I wasn't a working nurse, but I had passed my NCLEX, so technically I was a nurse. Here's his showing his official ID from his hospital. But I think the highlight of Büyükada Island and these Prince Islands is that there aren't many other foreigners. The individuals in the island traveling were actually Turkish people, so it literally felt like I was just absorbing what they were doing and not just in a very heavily touristed foreign area.
Like chicken, tomato, onion, pepper. They have the chicken and cream, chicken and sauce.
A skill or hobby that I developed throughout this travel was people watching, just being observant of other ways of life, and it felt like I was in my own movie.
This is awesome. Woo! So I don't know where I'm going right now. I'm just gonna get lost. I have the rental for a whole day, so not too bad. $7 for a whole day rental. I just got away from the main city square right now. Just gonna explore. So there aren't many cars there. It's all bicycles, so it's my type. Hey.
Solo traveling is awesome because you have no limits. I literally just pushed myself up these steep hills and allowed myself to get lost in the island, exploring these roads with my cheapo rental bike. Thankfully the brakes worked, but it was questionable. As you can see here, I am putting it to the test, and I actually climbed one of like the steepest hills on the island. There was a church at the top, and I actually had some locals laughing at me because I was the only one biking up the hill. Everybody else was walking their bike, and I just found this as a good workout too. Finally made it to this church at the top of the island, and thankfully I had this amazing view while my heart rate went back down. And then it was finally time to go back down the mountain, and here you'll see how steep the climb I had was, and I just fly back down through the bottom. Right as soon as I made it down at the bottom of the hill, my chain flew off. Thankfully I knew how to fix it since I biked back at home.
That's great! Let's go! I'll go.
Looking back at the video footage, maybe I shouldn't have been going this fast, but it was still a fun one. At the bottom of the hill, once again, I decided that I wanted to do the loop of the island and just bike around the whole thing. I mapped out my route and kind of guesstimated how long it would take me, and of course,
I was about to do the whole loop. Check this out. Flat.
my bike was flat, so this meant that I had to go back to the bike center and get a new one.
Yeah. Church. Yeah, the flat, the church. Up the church.
Funny enough, I didn't know the front tire was also flat. I just ended up paying $7 for myself to get a new bike and for them to fix the tubes. Show must carry on. With my new bike, I was eager to fly around and do the whole loop of the island before I had to catch the ferry back home.
Beautiful. Good. Beautiful.
This day was probably one of the most memorable days I've ever had on a bike, and I think I'm going to make it a ritual to always rent a bike to a new country that I'm in. It was just pure freedom, being able to go wherever you wanted.
Finally got around the whole island. I'm eating at the same spot I ate earlier, but one thing I find really funny is that the music is English, but they don't speak English. Listen, I've heard this song like 5 times here, but the food here was really good, so that's why I decided to come back. But this is the vibe, man, look. Good, bro. Delicious.
On the way home, I got to be entertained for free by these street performers. Well, actually, ferry performers, I guess. Meanwhile, the ferry experience for me was just a day trip. However, for these other individuals next to me, this was their daily life. This was their regular commute, which felt so awesome since I was immersed into their daily life and just got to people watch them, watch the baby crying, and just their way of life. Super humbling. the Airbnb, we had the coolest blind system ever. Check this out. Have I mentioned yet that there were cats everywhere in Istanbul? If not yet, here it is. Look, cats literally everywhere. On my last full day in Istanbul, I caught up with my sister and grabbed some breakfast at this awesome cafe. Istanbul for sure has a lot of awesome cafes that I have yet to find anything close to back here at home.
Cream cheese.
To pass time before my bus departure, I went to go visit that favorite coffee shop I had mentioned earlier.
Turn right onto Turnasabasi Caddesi.
Alright, I do not know how to find which bus I'm supposed to be on. Part of the adventure. There's like no signage at all, so I'm just gonna look for a bus that has the same logo as the one I bought. Alright, I think I found it. The guy said station 1. So I'm just gonna trust him. I'm gonna wait there, and hopefully in an hour or so there's a bus waiting for me with my spot reserved. So I booked it like
Finally, I saw the same logo bus company that I had signed up for. I was a little confused in the beginning, but I showed the guy my ticket and he said I was in the right spot. This overnight bus ride to Cappadocia would take about 10 hours. And honestly, middle of the night, we had to go stop by somewhere for a pee break, but I didn't know that. I was just horrified to get out of the bus and then somehow find myself walking out of the restroom and the bus being gone. I was actually really paranoid, but I had to go, so I made the dash for the restroom. The sun started to rise, and I finally started to get my quick first view of Cappadocia in the distance. Hostel once I got out of the bus station, and little did I know this would be the best hostel stay experience I've ever had, and I'd meet some pretty awesome people. This is the host of the hostel. He was so nice, like incredibly nice. I love Turkey, man. Like the hospitality was just like no other. Quickly checking into the hostel, I saw this other guy who had also just came in, and I ended up grabbing lunch with him. He was actually from New Zealand and was an infectious disease doctor. So it was awesome to just hang out with various characters throughout this trip. As you'll see, I'll meet plenty more.
Awesome. Thank you.
And then this is one of my other new friends who was actually from New York. A couple weeks ago before we came, she was on an ATV accident. And here is an infectious disease doctor looking at the x-rays of her broken leg. And this is also the host of the hostel. And this is one of the cats that she kind of rescued from the streets and has been feeding. And then here is another display of the power of hostel relationships. On the way back in, I met this German guy, Benny, and I invited him to come with us on this day trip little hike that me and the other guy from New Zealand wanted to do. And next thing we knew, we were off to go do it. And we actually got into a deep talk, which was hilarious. Men are men. This shot here was pretty sick. I swear this wasn't scripted. These jeeps just turned on and started going after we had walked past the camera.
And then there's an unofficial track, which is, I think you can find it on all trails, but it's not promoted by the dog. And that's
As the sun started to set, we were going on and off on the trail since we didn't have the offline trails downloaded and we kind of kept losing it back and forth. It was one hell of an adventure. You're going on a hike. You didn't think you're going on a hike today, huh? Oh wait, no, there's a big. We can. Yeah. The German hiking in white shoes. Wow. We might. So this dog is becoming our tour guide now. And stray dogs, look at this. Keep on going, go ahead. Go. All right, buddy. Funny enough, these dogs would be the ones helping us stay on trail. For sure, they see so many tourists doing this route that they know how to get back to the main road. The best thing about this was we saw nobody else on this trail. It felt like we were super secluded and it was just us to figure out where we were going. It's the echo. Woohoo! Right before we lost sunlight, we made it back into the main road, which was relieving. We didn't want to be out there in pitch darkness.
Three people?
Oh, perfect.
Oh, thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, safe. Dark now. We ended up hitchhiking back to town since we didn't prepare to stay out this late. Thankfully, this guy was really cool, and funny enough, this Turkish citizen actually had just visited Germany, which he was able to relate with our new German friend here, and he was showing some videos and pictures of him at Oktoberfest.
I don't know. No translation. Oh, nice. Oh, wait. Tap again. Wo warst du in Deutschland? Oh, show pictures. Let's see. Oh.
Nice, you're dancing.
Oh, very much beer. Oh man. Oh. Nice. This is Munich?
Munich.
Okay. Oh, Bavaria. Yes.
Bavaria
Yes. Bayern.
Kartoffel.
Kartoffel.
Kartoffel. Ben de burada Türkiye kartoffel.
Awesome. We made it back into town, into our hostel, and we asked for some food recommendations from our host, and they led us to this Afghan restaurant place. And we recruited some people to go with us, and our crippled friend here, we offered to pick her up since she was stuck inside the hostel for a couple days now. So we all went out together and grabbed some cool dinner.
And
A Turkish doctor.
I'm not the Pole.
There's bone doctor.
Orthopedics.
Oh my god, do you want to see my wound?
I want to see.
Do you want to see my wound?
I love wound
It's like
cleaning.
really, really gross. You gotta tell me if you think it's infected or not.
Is it oozing? Did it smell? Was it yellow? Was it orange? Oh, it's not bad.
Not bad.
Did they clean it already?
Okay,
Yeah,
but this was like a few days.
You didn't take your jacket off. You messed up. I filmed the whole day already.
Chorba? Okay, 1 lentil soup and 1 manti and 1 meat skewer and 1 meatballs, 1 tavuk chili.
Drive safe, he said.
After dinner, we went to go knock out early as we had an early 5 a.m. wake up call as we were gonna go ride the hot air balloons for sunrise. This was such an awesome morning view, and hearing all the hot air balloons light up was so exciting until I finally got to hop onto one myself for the very first time. I've been aboard.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Ni maksa oi. You like the devil speaking in my ear. I honestly couldn't stop smiling. I was confused if I wanted to take some photos or I just wanted to sit in the moment. So I ended up telling myself 5 minutes straight of photos and then camera off. Finally, it was time to descend back down. I'll tell you what, this wasn't the smoothest landing ever. This was pretty impressive. I didn't really know how hot air balloons worked. All I knew was that you just follow the wind. And technically your only control is up and down, which made it fun. You didn't really know where you were gonna go, you just go with the wind. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We got back to the hostel and got our free Turkish breakfast. After eating, we went with our friend to go pick up his car rental that he had reserved for a couple days prior to coming. This would unlock a whole range of freedom that the other tour guides would not have provided. We ended up driving to the underground city caves. During the Roman Empire, early Christians fled persecution and sought refuge in Cappadocia, including Gorme. They built underground cities and cave churches where they could live and practice their faith in secret.
Oh my gosh.
This is where people store their wheat back in the days.
This is comfier. It's crazy how smart they were. This was their ventilation systems. Exploring the underground city got us hungry, so we went into this hole-in-the-wall Turkish restaurant. Here, we had their cheapest meals yet. Back in Gourmet was very touristy and expensive. Here, we ate alongside the locals and had affordable, delicious food.
Or maybe it's the EU or the Schengen.
Our next mission was to do the Elara Valley hike. This hike would be an 8-mile hike starting from the top of the valley going all the way to the bottom. Our goal was to leave our car at the bottom of the valley and hitchhike to the top and start our hike. However, it was harder than expected.
Irgendeinen Weg zu kriegen, in diese Stadt zu fahren. Okay, how much?
500.
We tried for free at the moment. Maybe a taxi like 100 lira.
You because there, your car to come here. Me, your car to come here. Like the other option.
Oh no. No, online we read 200 for taxi.
This guy was trying to charge us a lot just to drop us off at the top of the hike. Or he also offered that he would drive us with our own rental car and he'd drive back the car down at the bottom, which was super sketch, but we just ended up hitchhiking. No! Guilt trip them.
Here. You can start from here, but apparently if
The
you start the
official
other
start,
side, it's going down.
It's more downhill, yeah.
So we're trying to go to the other side, so we left our car here and trying to find someone to hitchhike.
But the other side is far away, I think.
10 minutes.
It's 10 minutes.
10 minute drive.
We stopped there was no one in the parking lot.
The green is the start right there. And then we're here right here. So if you start from the green, it's more downhill. So start with the top of the valley and down.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Because if you want...
Yeah, but we have to go back to get the car.
Yeah,
No,
if you want,
Yeah.
we can park one car down there, do the trek, meet again here, and then pick up the other car. No matter if it's your car or our car, we have a rental car as well. We have the same car, I think.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay.
Next thing we knew, we had recruited this couple from Uruguay to our plan to do the valley hike from top to bottom.
Uruguay.
Oh, nice. ¿Cómo te llamas? Sia. Me llamo Don.
Soy Benjamin. Pero hablo solo un poquito de español.
We started our 8-mile valley hike. The valley is home to over 100 cave churches and monasteries, many with intricate frescoes depicting biblical scenes. These churches date back to the 9th to 13th centuries and served as places of worship, teaching, and community gatherings. Classic. There's like 1.6. Funny enough, despite coming from 3 different countries, speaking 3 different languages, we all had one thing in common. We all lived the same life back in 2015 and played the game Counter-Strike.
What? The trek? Aren't we supposed to go here?
There we go, we hike far, very far. Oh! Hi. Big dog. We passed by a town and met these huge dogs. Like huge, look at this. I used a tripod as my little distance stick, and then we made our way back into the trek. Here, we'd find straight solitude. We'd see the locals picking the cherries, and these amazing views. Merhaba. Shit.
Once again, lesson learned was to download offline maps. As the sun was getting lower and lower, we were trying to make sure we were going the same way as the original path. Just because it got really narrow, we thought we were going the wrong direction. However, it was the right direction. It was just really beaten. We got to try some berries off the side and quickly rushed back as we were running out of daylight.
Pretty good. I see light over there. Come on, let's go. Come on, dog. Let's keep going. We survived!
We made it.
With a pinch of daylight left, we made it back to the parking lot. We were super hungry from the 8-mile hike, so our next mission was to go out and celebrate and find some food.
Open. Now open.
The problem was we were far from the main city. In these little towns, the restaurants were closing early. However, the owner of this restaurant said he had a friend that had a restaurant still open, so go follow him. This was kind of sketch. We didn't know where we were going. They didn't really speak much English, but he just kept walking and told us to follow him. We ended up walking in these alleyways, which got us even more sketch. We didn't even know what restaurant this was.
Second day here.
We ended up not eating there as it didn't look very sanitary. So we made the decision to drive back to town and just suffer for 45 minutes, and then we could go eat back at the original hole-in-the-wall restaurant we had ate at earlier. However, we ended up seeing the most amazing views outside our window. The stars were glistening and the Milky Way was nice and bright. These locals had thought we had gotten into a car accident as we were just parked on the side of the street. However, once we found out we were just watching the Milky Way and the stars, they had eased up and invited us to their home business. However, we didn't have time and we were hungry to get food. Funny enough, our German friend spoke some Dutch, and one of the locals there spoke Dutch, so they spoke to each other.
Hi. Yo, what the hell was he saying? Translate. They're inviting us to a viewpoint or something.
Yeah, so there's a lake, the lake we've seen previously
Yeah.
today on Google Maps.
Yeah.
This like Crater Lake.
Yeah.
And he runs a cafe, or
Yeah.
he's owning the place.
What is
this?
this? We have more.
It was awesome to support the small business restaurant and show our new friends from Uruguay where we had ate at earlier. The best food ever.
Lights. Yes. So he thought we were in an accident, since we were also on the side of the road, like downhill, and he thought maybe we crashed. So they wanted to help. They were really nice, and they said we should come tomorrow to his steaming lake. Yes.
After a long day, we made it back to the hostel. However, we were still driven to wake up for early sunrise next morning. It felt like it was a sin to be in Cappadocia and not see the sunrise with the hot air balloons. Where else in the world can you see hundreds of hot air balloons all at once rising together?
Once again, the kindness of the Turkish people was displayed here. I went to go take photos, so I left my tripod and my bag on the side. Somehow, somebody had picked it up and was worried that I had forgotten it, so they turned it into this little cafe, little stand on the side. I made some friends with some local Turkish people and offered to take their photos. And this is when I found out my bag wasn't there anymore. So I had asked them to help me translate that I was looking for my bag, and here we have it.
I love it. Yes, my bottle. Thank you, thank you.
Wow, okay, you're lucky, man. Holy shit. I'm really happy.
What is it?
Tomorrow, photo.
I don't know. Yeah, tomorrow photo. Okay. I took photos earlier. Tomorrow photos. Later.
I'm so thankful for this local group of friends that helped me translate and get my bag back. Lucky enough, I didn't have any of my belongings stolen. The boys and I continued our adventure and drove around to find these awesome spots.
What's up? Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah, we trying to stop terrorism.
Cheers.
But we still got terrorists here living in the USA, the big CIA.
I should probably have stick this GoPro in my mouth when riding.
Ah, yeah.
That would have been sick footage. Oh, okay. Oh.
Game over. We made it.
For the last couple days, we've been meaning to catch the sunset at the Uçhisar Castle, which is one of the highest points in Cappadocia. However, because of our busy schedules, we missed it every night. Finally, we had the opportunity to catch the sunset from this spectacular viewpoint along with our friends from Uruguay. Back in the hostel, we made friends with the front clerk desk and had a good talk about the history of Turkey. Sadly, he did open up about the topic of the current mass inflation that was experienced while we were there. As I had mentioned earlier, it was an absolute sin to be in Cappadocia and not wake up for sunrise. Despite how tired we were, we still made it to the sunrises.
Crash landing.
This was such a magical experience driving around in the roads while hundreds of hot air balloons surrounded us. Our motto for the rest of the day was, "It's a rental, don't be gentle." Shout out to Benny from Germany for having the car rental. Having a friend with a car rental unlocked so much freedom and allowed us to see spots that we would have never seen with a typical tour bus route. We got to visit and drive through small towns while being the only foreigners in the vicinity. This was such an awesome experience, and it felt like we were together with the locals in unity. Once again, the motto was, "Don't be gentle, it's a rental." On the way back to the town of Goreme, we saw this grandpa sitting on the side of the street. He was trying to hitchhike back into town, so of course, we paid the favor back since we hitchhiked the other day and allowed him to come with us.
You go?
Yes. Goreme. You? Okay.
Downhill. Tell us when to stop. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Good day.
Google Maps.
We made it right in time to make it back into town to return the car rental. After returning the car rental, we went back to the hostel and took a fat power nap. When we woke up, we got picked up by this van to take us to the ATV excursion.
Go.
Excuse the gibberish as I had the GoPro in my mouth, but pretty much the guy was telling us not to drift.
Everything is Cappadocia is everything tourism, normal country.
Oh, okay.
But like in these open areas?
No.
No?
Yeah, that group tour and then only one line. That break time. And then take picture.
And also not after or in break.
We asked one more time if we could do donuts during the break right here in the wide open, but he still said no.
Yeah.
I can see it when it's doing circles. Later on one of the breaks, the ATV tour guides had offered us to come on with him for a ride along.
He'll do it.
What about you?
Three of us.
I can ride.
Okay. One at a time. I can go too after. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Here we go.
He's amazing.
Go, brother.
Little did I know, I was up for a grand of a ride. We'd be balancing on two wheels and jumping over curbs, thinking that the whole ATV was gonna flip over. I didn't want to break my leg like our friend there from New York.
Oh! What the hell? Oh my god, we're on wheels! That was awesome. Oh, thanks, brother. Oh, that was hard, man. Thank you. For you, brother. Thank you.
That was fun.
I'm not gonna do a voiceover for a while here, as you'll see that the sunset was amazing, so let's just enjoy it. For dinner, we decided to grab some pizza just a couple steps away from our hostel.
Come on, crippled. I'm near Los Angeles, so other side.
Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, the last side, LeBron James or Kobe Bryant. The drone shot. Almost there.
You're losing power.
Downshift.
Hi.
I remember you.
You remember me? Yes, I've been here for a while.
You come back in here?
I've been here for this.
When we leave, we're gonna start over the edge.
Yeah.
Or you can have.
Nuts.
You change your prices?
Oh no.
Change your.
Can you give us old price?
Yeah.
It's
Last
day.
It's only September.
I am working.
As what our front desk clerk had talked about the inflation. Just within a couple weeks, the prices had nearly doubled.
How many inches is that? Do you know?
How many? Just
many
convert it yourself.
Okay, just tell me in centimeters. The big and small.
10.
I don't understand.
Size.
It's a
Size, small, 22 centimeters is big size, 33 centimeters.
33 centimeters is a foot.
Understand why America uses the imperial system. Everywhere I travel, I have to convert everything.
We need to make a massive drive.
Oh gosh, it's gonna be so big. We should create a separate account.
Moments like this is why I love staying in hostels. You meet people from all types of backgrounds, different ways of lives, and you just get to sit around and share your stories from back at home and have that cool meal and share that laughter.
Cheers too. Do you guys say cheers or? Cheers. Say hello, America.
I've got a radio family account.
Fellow American.
Hello, New York.
Within the last 2 weeks. Not really. You gotta be careful with these Google reviews. I can't believe that pizza.
So many.
20. Okay, there's a railing a little bit, I think.
No, none of the tours in Germany are. That's usually one of the reasons people do. Thank you.
Boo.
Oh, 7 years of that second. My friend once, like, we had a conversation.
I'm not really a smoker,
But I tried hookah for the very first time, and I'm not gonna lie, it was really smooth, but still not my type of thing to continuously do. It was just more for the experience and the culture. The hard parts about staying in hostels is that eventually you have to say goodbye to your new friends. I caught the sunrise one last time, as the next day I'd be heading towards the coast of Turkey. The sunrises never disappoint, but these cute dogs made the experience so much more memorable.
Horse. You know the horse that I crashed with? 7 months later, it's the same horse. I just went to a different family.
Where is my Shakira? Where is my Jennifer Lopez? I need right now, brother. It is young. Thank you, baby. It's coming, please come over.
Hi.
You want pistachio?
Yes, I want pistachio.
Why you can't speak Turkish?
I'm not Turkish.
You can't speak Turkish?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I am teacher for you. You marry me? Why not? We think about. Thank you, baby. Which one do you want, Jennifer Lopez?
Can I have a mix of chocolate and pistachio?
Okay, I don't want to play you, yeah?
Yeah.
So let's pistachio.
My time in Cappadocia finally came to an end. For sure, in the far future when I come back in a couple years or so, I'll be staying at Diadem Cappadocia. This hostel not only provided the best hospitality I've ever had in any hostel experience, but allowed me to make some cool memories with awesome people. This hostel was honestly the base camp of my experiences. It was now time to take the 12-hour bus ride towards the seaside town of Fethiye. A quick little checkpoint stop, and off we would go again. During one of our breaks, I looked outside and saw this couple patiently waiting for their next bus in the middle of the morning. I hope too, one day, to be backpacking across the country, across the world, with my significant other just being free. I didn't really know what to do in Fethiye, so on the way there on the 12-hour bus ride I researched, and it seemed like the number one thing to do there was to go paragliding, so I made that my priority as soon as I got there. I looked for an agency to book through, and easily found one right out of the bus station. I think I'll go with the gravity, there's more reviews.
But we're stopping Ölüdeniz olsun.
Okay, thank you, bye-bye. You text me. Okay, see ya. Just got to Fethiye, and right away some guy was selling me on paragliding. And I compared it to the prices online. It's pretty much the same thing. It was $120 online, here it was $90. But he said that for extra $30 you'll get the video camera with it. So I guess it'll be cheaper by a little bit. We'll see. I was kind of skeptical at first. I didn't know like if this is gonna be a scam or not. But we'll see if somebody shows up tomorrow. I arrived to my next hostel, but it seems like I got there way too early. It was not check-in time yet. Honestly, out of all the hostels I stayed at, this is probably one of the ugliest ones. However, I did pay only about $8 for that night, and it motivated me to go outside and not stay in the room. killed time before check-in. I just chilled in the lounge with this hostel cat. Like pounds, like what?
I'm sure they would accept your job.
Yeah.
They're just trying to.
But no prices or anything.
Yeah, it makes it annoying, isn't it?
I got a tour of the hostel, and honestly, I didn't understand what the theme was. But after a while, it was just about feeling free of expression. And this made me realize, how nice it was to be in my 20s. To just be able to backpack in these places, as I know at one point in my life I wouldn't be staying in one of these anymore, at least not as drinky as this hostel. As the city woke up, I finally get to step out into town. Here, I realized that Fethiye was a very touristy spot, especially for British citizens.
So you're traveling on your own?
Solo traveling, yeah. Freedom.
Lovely. For the hard work.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in California?
Solo traveling has been one of the most growth-provoking experiences I've ever done. Just being okay to sit down by yourself and eat that meal, or chase for whatever you want to do with no barriers, no conflict. The absolute freedom that you feel is none like any other. It feels like you're the main character of your own movie and you're living through it. And this is an experience that everyone, I should say, should experience. Per usual, I like to prioritize hikes when I go to a different country. I think it's one way to really explore the area. After eating lunch, I went across the street and went to the hikes of these abandoned cities. I'm not gonna act like I'm smart, so here's a quick Google search of Kayakoi, which is the ghost town I am hiking right here. Kayakoi dates back to the ancient Greek period with its roots. It was a vibrant city that had Greek-speaking inhabitants. During the Ottoman period, Kayakoi was predominantly populated by Greek Orthodox Christians. The town flourished as a center of trade and culture. In 1923, following the Treaty of Lausanne, a population exchange between Greece and Turkey led to the forced relocation of the Greek Orthodox inhabitants of Kayakoi. In exchange, Turkish-speaking Muslims from Greece moved into the area. The Greek residents were not able to return and the village was abandoned. After the population exchange, the buildings in Kayakoi were left empty and the town slowly deteriorated. Over time, it became an abandoned and forgotten village. Transportation around Fethiye was easy. They had these big vans going around the island and all I had to do was wave them down. You kinda had to know though which route they're going or else it would have taken you to the wrong side. I went to go check out Olodeniz Beach as this would be my drop zone when we land for our paragliding excursion. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really a big fan of how much tourists that was here. I went to go check out the building and saw that the company I had booked earlier out of the bus stop was a legit company. It was quickly clear that Fethiye was a hot spot for paragliders. Guys, I give up on Turkish food. I'm on a mission to go get a burger from Burger King. Oh man, it's chaos here. It's so touristy. Everybody here is from England, and you can just hear the British accent. Alright, I'm gonna go find food. After 20 plus days, I was actually getting tired of Turkish kebabs or any Turkish meal. Here, I'm having a sad burger from Burger King. On the next day, I woke up in my hostel, which felt like a fever dream when I took off my eye mask, as I was still pretty confused where I was at, but it was time to go paraglide. After having skydived twice, I wasn't really afraid of paragliding. I was more excited for the views. One of the new things that I found myself doing is throwing in AirPods and playing a playlist that makes you feel like you're the main character of the movie. Just walking into town and feeling like an absolute badass.
Oh yeah, pretty good.
With no plans, I decided to go back up to the spot where I had paraglided in the morning to catch sunset there. I'm a huge sucker for sunsets.
Hello, cables? Cable?
You.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you from here?
I'm from here, but I'm living in Germany.
Germany.
Yes.
Okay, a lot of it.
Where are you from?
America, California.
America? California. Nice.
Beautiful. Today, this morning, I did this.
Yes?
Yeah. In the morning, I jumped, and now I come back just a photo.
Oh, do you jump?
What's up? Maybe I send tomorrow?
Walking around with a camera makes you look like a professional photographer. This Turkish couple had asked me for photos, so I obliged. Later on, they would be nice enough to take me back down to my hostel.
Perfect. Turkish, please. I call you when I help.
What's your name?
Don, D-O-N. I send the number.
Dan.
Yes, D-O-N.
Burak.
Burak.
I'm from.
Oh no! Oh no! Your name is
Your name? Burak.
Name is
Burak.
Burak.
Okay.
Name is Aslan.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nurse, California nurse good.
Yeah,
Turkey
yeah.
nurse.
Yeah, economy. Yeah.
Money as little.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There as little.
Is he?
Enough, this gentleman was a police officer and his wife was a nurse.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Don. Hi, Mom.
Beautiful. How do you say good night? Yeah, how do you say good night?
İyi geceler.
Huh?
İyi geceler.
İyi geceler.
Geceler.
Me like this song. My favorite song. I hear everywhere here in Turkey. It's good here. Good here. Yeah, yeah. It's good here for me. I want. Huh?
Translate.
Oh, okay. Here.
Çek olarak akşam yemeğinin tadını çıkarın. Buraya teşekkürler. Buraya gidiyor.
Yeah.
Okay.
All good.
Nice to
Thank
meet you.
you. Nice meeting you. Nice police. Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Gole gole. Is that
Gole.
good? Yeah, yeah. I go that way.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Yeah, brother. See ya, man.
Hadi görüşürüz.
Yeah, yeah. Enjoy. Here you go, brother. Gole
No,
gole.
not that.
No, no. Adios. Peace.
Solo travel is one of the most transformative experiences you can have. When you travel alone, you face discomfort head on, and in doing so, you learn more about yourself than you ever could in your comfort zone. You create memories that last a lifetime, and the world becomes a canvas for your own personal growth. Traveling solo also makes you more approachable, allowing you to connect with others in a way that's unique. You'll make new friends from all walks of life. But solo travel isn't just about the adventures and friendships. It's about learning how to embrace the moments of loneliness, to grow comfortable in your own company, and to find peace in solitude. It's in those moments of stillness that you truly find yourself and realize how much you can handle on your own. I decided to partake in the theme of the hostel, which is more like freedom of expression. Here, I totally butcher Gandhi's quote.
Oh my god, get up. It's part of the theme. It's messed up. Nothing is ever perfect in life.
It was now time to go to my next destination. This next destination was called Butterfly Valley. I had booked one campsite spot there, but first we had to take a quick boat ride.
Got it, 350 lira, so it comes out to around 12 bucks USD round trip. I'll come back.
Honestly, this is probably one of the most expensive stays I've ever paid for during a trip. This was surprisingly $40 a night, but I really wanted to stay in this secluded valley as the only way to get to this valley was either through a treacherous hike or through the boat ride. Throughout the day, these party boats would come in for their little day trip. Thankfully, I was staying. After a cool couple hours, they had all departed and we were left to have the beach all to ourselves secluded. After 5 p.m., the last boat sailed, and I found myself in a complete tranquility with only a handful of us left on the beach. This was the first time on my trip where I found myself alone. In retrospect, my solo travels haven't been so much solo. I would immediately make friends at the hostel, and before I knew it, I'd have a group to explore with. However, being in a valley surrounded by mostly couples on a honeymoon was slightly challenging, sending me into a reflection mode. I was reminded by this reel by Spencer Can. Enjoy being single because you never know when a relationship might happen. And when it does, you won't be single for a while or ever again. I've learned that everything is a perspective, and through a perspective switch, you learn that this time you have alone is something you may never get back. Moral of the story is, being single is equally as valuable as being in a relationship. Time is passing, so stop waiting for others and do that thing you've always wanted to do, no matter what it may be. Solo swimming during sunset and sunrise was a vibe.
I'll take it.
Alright guys, I am highly debating if screw my campground, my camp tent, and cowboy camping right here. This is a pretty comfy spot, and I mean you can't see it right now, but I think it'd be pretty cool to sleep up here and catch the sunrise. Will I do it? We will see within the next hour. I need to bring a blanket up here because I don't have a blanket.
Despite how cool the idea sounded, I didn't pull through, and I just went to go get some comfy sleep in the $40 tent I paid for.
Big dog. Thank you.
My time to Fethiye was coming to an end, and I had my one last night stay at this super low-key hostel away from the main town.
I am on my way to my very last hostel just for one night, and then tomorrow I'm gonna fly back to Istanbul. So the sun is setting. It's way more chill here, and there's already less cars, less white people. So I'm gonna take a breather today, take a break. I'm kind of getting sick, but it's part of traveling. I've never gotten sick. I mean, I've always gotten sick. It's not a real travel day or trip without getting sick. So
As I mentioned, this hostel was super low-key, super far from the main city, but it was awesome because the hostel owner was also a backpacker himself, so he just kind of made this own business. It was a little freaky in the beginning since when I walked into the compound, it was literally all me. I thought it was like haunted, but later on I'd meet some awesome, pretty cool people, and it felt very homey. After grabbing dinner, I walked back to the hostel and checked in with the owner. Cool enough, another American had checked in who just came from Greece.
Oh, cool. I love to hear it.
Ended up having some conversations with the hostel owner right here on the right, which was super awesome. Later on, 2 Russians would check in, and this was world peace right here. 2 Americans and 2 Russians. Sadly enough, they were escaping from the war, and if they had gone back home, they'd be drafted into the military.
Yo, is this it, bro?
Yes, second one.
In my last morning in Fethiye, my hostel owner invited me to eat breakfast at his personal family home. Everything was so fresh as they were all grown from their home garden in the front yard.
Hello!
Greetings your family from Turkey in the Fethiye.
Gole gole. Gole gole. See ya, see ya. Bye-bye.
Kubilai, if you're watching this, I just wanted to express one more time how awesome you are, and I'm appreciative of your hospitality. You made my Turkey stay end with a bang, and will ever leave a footprint of how amazing Turkey is in my heart.
You can. No, the breakfast is amazing. Okay. America. Yeah, but
America.
Yeah, Philippines. Then I moved to America.
Instead of taking the public bus to the airport, I ended up catching a ride with this family waiting in the corner for a taxi as they were going to the airport as well. They were dropping off their son as he was going to school in Istanbul for dentistry. My trip was coming to an end. Back in Istanbul, I was reminded in the vibrancy of this amazing city. I could not have asked for a better trip prior to starting my big boy job waiting for me back at home. I'll definitely revisit Turkey again in this lifetime.
Merhaba. And then that's it, guys. Until next time.